Hello, dear students. Welcome to the world of legal knowledge. I am CA Preeti Agarwal and I have been teaching law since 2012. Immediately after clearing my CA, I was recruited in the internal audit department of a company in Mumbai. I worked there for a year, but I soon realized that this corporate job is not for me. I couldn't simply sit in the office till 9 o'clock just because my boss was sitting. And I couldn't work in a place where leaving early was considered to be a sign of inefficiency. So, without a second thought, I quit my job. And teaching was a natural choice for me. I started by teaching accounts to 12th standard students. Then, slowly, I started teaching accounts to CA students. And I was offered an opportunity of teaching law to CA students by one of the institutes that I was associated with. So it's very uncommon, for a chartered accountant who has always been focused on learning accounts to suddenly start teaching law. But I soon realized that I had a liking for that subject because it was so practical and there were so many examples which made the subject so interesting. And those examples were related to your real life and students could relate to that. So I started enjoying that subject. And after receiving a tremendously positive response, since 2012, I have been teaching law to CA, CS, and even ACCA students. Then during the COVID pandemic, I started my YouTube channel in the name of CA Preeti Agarwal, and I also started providing online video lectures and books to CA students. So, well, here I am now interacting with students from all across India, Nepal, and even Pakistan. That was my journey as a chartered accountant, and I feel blessed to be a part of your journey as well. In this course for CA Inter Law, we are going to have an exam oriented approach. See, exam oriented doesn't mean that I'm going to teach only selected concepts or I'm going to cover everything quickly. Exam oriented means that apart from the importance that we give to theory, we are also going to give equal importance to question answer discussion, writing practice, MCQ discussion. Everything will be covered in the class itself. So after watching these lectures, you won't have to do anything on your own. The concept explanation, the question answer discussion, homework, writing practice, MCQ discussion, questions from the module, everything will be covered in the class itself. Okay, so this is basically going to be my approach. I will first explain the concept to you with the help of charts. Most of the times I will draw the chart beforehand in order to save time. See, I don't want you to waste time in drawing the chart along with me. I will draw the chart with you, I will explain it, and then I will give you time to copy. But sometimes students tell me, ma'am, we don't even have that much time to copy because there are so many subjects and so much that we need to cover. So this is the first time that I'm also going to give you a printable PDF of those charts. Okay, so please enjoy. We are going to discuss everything in the class through chart format. I'm going to convert all the sections into easily understandable charts. Now these charts will not only help us to understand the concept, but they will also help us to revise the concepts during our prelims, revision, and especially 1.5 days before the exam. Okay, so please preserve these charts properly. And students, it is a sincere request that I'm putting so much effort in preparing those charts and notes for you. Please don't share it with your friends for free. Okay, see, whatever I'm giving it to you is on the basis of trust that you will keep it with yourself. I'm also here to feed my family. I'm also putting in so much effort so that I can reach to maximum students. But for that effort, I would like to have something in return. Okay, so please, it's a sincere request. Don't share the charts with your friends. I'm trusting you. That is why I'm giving you those printable PDFs. Okay, so that is my trust in you. Promise you won't share it now with anyone. Okay, so we are going to discuss the chart first. I will give it to you in the printed form. There are certain charts which I may not give it to you because I feel that no, that should be written in the class itself because I need to explain the flow to you. So those things we will write in the class itself. Okay, so it will be a combination, but you will have most of the material with you. After we discuss the chart, after you have understood the concept, then we will read it from the textbook. I'll show you which book. See, this is the textbook. Can you see it? Yes, this is the textbook. And after we finish discussing the concept in the chart, I'm going to read all the provisions and the entire section from that textbook. Why? Because I'm going to make you mark the keywords, the important sentences. There are so many things that we are going to mark in the class itself. all last minute revision notes, study notes, we will write in the class. There is a lot of benefit, students, just trust me. Because of the notes that you make in class, you will remember the concept immediately, firstly, and you will also be able to recall that better when you sit to revise. Okay, now what is my aim? My aim is to make you revise this subject 5 times before the exam. How will we revise 5 times? See, one, we will study through the chart. Okay, so that is one reading. Second reading is when we read the notes. Okay, and I will make you mark many things, and all that will help you before the exam, one day before the exam, and also during revision. So we are going to make all the markings, revision notes. Then thirdly, you will read it on your own because you will have to solve the questions from compiler. So that is your third reading. So in order to solve the question from the compiler, homework questions, so for that you will have to read the concept again. So that is your third reading. The fourth reading will happen when you revise. And fifth reading will happen one day before the exam. So I am planning to make you read the notes and everything, the entire subject 5 times before the exam. And I think that much is sufficient for exam. Okay, and it is sufficient for getting exemption. Yes. So first we will draw the charts. We will study everything through charts. Then we will read from the textbooks. So that will be a second reading. After that, then we will solve the questions from the compiler. Okay. But students, before that, I would request you to solve the questions on your own. Be ready with the answer, and then you can watch the discussion videos of the compiler. Okay. We are also going to solve the questions from this book. This book has many questions. So small questions we will solve while we study the concept. And once I've read, once you have marked everything, anyways, we are going to solve the relevant question. But full length answers are not given over here. Full length answers will be given to you in the compiler. So then we will solve the compiler. We are also going to solve the questions from the module. We are also going to solve MCQs, the relevant MCQs from your smart book. Okay, smart book PDF is already available with you. So after solving the compiler, then the module questions, relevant MCQs. After all that, I will give you homework questions. Those homework questions you will write and practice. Okay, you will write and you will send it to me for checking. I will check and I will get back to you. We will have to do that because you need writing practice, and without writing practice, exemption is not possible. And I want every student of mine to get exemption in law, and you will get it. I'm telling you, it is my guarantee. On my guarantee, I'm telling you 100% you will get exemption. Okay, so we have covered the charts, we have covered the textbook, we have made markings in that, we have covered module questions, MCQs, compiler question. I'll show you the compiler also. See, this is the compiler. It is a compilation of all the past exam questions, study material, RTP, MTP questions. Everything is arranged unit wise. And what is the USP of this book? The main point is that answers are given in the format that you need to write in the exam. Provision, facts of the case, analysis, conclusion. So that is how I have covered. So all the module questions, study material, RTP, MTP questions, everything is in that. You also have a smart book, okay, smart MCQ book, which covers all the MCQs, and we also have case-based MCQ. So the entire material is going to be covered in the class. So after we finish charts, textbook, compiler, module, MCQ, only then we will consider that the unit is over, and we will then proceed to the second unit. Okay, so you need not study anything on your own. Everything is done in the class itself. So then we will proceed to the second unit. We will finish the portion, and lastly, then I will make you solve the case-based MCQ, because for case-based MCQ, you require knowledge of the entire syllabus, because questions can be asked from anywhere. And you know what, they jump. Like one question will be from unit chapter 1, second question will be from chapter 6, then it will be from chapter 4. So because they keep jumping, you need the knowledge of the entire syllabus if you want to solve the case based questions. So I think, yes, I have covered everything. After all this, then after the portion is over, we will do the case based MCQ. You will be solving one prelim paper. Yes, that prelim paper is already shared with you. That 100-mark prelim paper you will solve. You will send it to me for checking. I will get it checked. I don't check, I only review. I will get it checked. My paper checkers are company secretaries. So they will check the paper, and they will send it to me. I will go through it and I will offer feedback. We will connect on call for that. Now, how to study? This is what I'm going to cover. How will you study? You have to study everything along with me. Okay, so you will study through the charts, you will study when we read, then again you will read on your own. You will also solve the questions from compiler. You will solve homework questions, so that multiple reading has to be done. Now, after all this is over, ma'am, we have understood everything, we have revised everything, but it happens, no? Like, if you're not in touch with the subject, you tend to forget so many things, even though you have studied everything properly. To help you stay in touch with the subject, I am also giving you podcast revision lectures. You're saying, ma'am, itna sab to de diya, ab aur bhi. We are also going to share with you podcast revision lectures. These lectures can be listened while going to college. On your way to college, you can just put your headphones and listen to those podcast lectures. You can go through them because they will be like half an hour to maximum 40-45 minutes lecture. So while going to college, or the first thing in the morning that you just sit quietly and listen to those lectures. One day before the exam, you can go through the booster videos which we share, which covers all the section numbers in a sequence, all the head points in a sequence. So everything will be revised quickly. You can listen to these audio lectures anywhere at any time, and they have unlimited views. Okay, you can listen to them unlimited number of times. All right, students. So there is so much that we are going to cover. I can sense that you're feeling very tensed. Don't be tensed, because everything will be covered very smoothly. I have everything planned for you. Okay. Now, how will you study? You will study in a sequence. I have given you the index in the textbook. So you have an index in the textbook. Follow that sequence. But for revision, revise in the reverse order. Okay, because the last chapters are more important than the first few chapters. So revise in the reverse order. During the lecture, I will also keep explaining to you what are the keywords, how to identify, what to write. I will train you to get exemption. All right. So students, this is going to be my approach, and I have also discussed with you how you are supposed to study. We are going to do 5 readings. Okay. Tell me 5 readings before your exam. And I think that is more than enough for getting exemption. Let us also go through the various books that you have received along with the lectures. The first book that you will refer is the main law book. Now this covers all the provisions. Everything is covered in this book. Okay, all the sections are covered in a proper sequence. This will be your main book for law. This is the book that you will study first, followed by the compiler. Okay, now never go in the reverse order. Never study the compiler first and then go through only those relevant. Okay, this question has been asked in the exam, I will study only that theory from the main book. That is not the correct approach. You will always first study this book, and only after you have finished this book, you will then study from the law compiler. Okay, now this main law book covers all the sections, provisions, everything is given in a proper flow. You have head points, headings for every point. This is how you will write the answer in the exam. Okay, so this will be your main law book, and I will also go through the features of this law book. But first, let me introduce the books to you. Then we have the compiler bomb. Okay, so this is the compiler, a detailed question bank. It has all the study material, RTP, MTP questions, past exam questions arranged unit wise. Okay, so we are going to solve and discuss all those questions also in the class. All right, but first I always tell the students to solve those questions on their own before going through the discussion video, so that you know how much you have understood and whether you're able to recall the concepts or not. Then yes, we have the chart book. Okay, this is the chart book. Yes, this is the chart book. Now this chart book covers all charts in a colorful format. Okay, these are all colorful charts. You can see the size of the book. It's an A3 book. The reason is that it has perforation. See over here, no, there is perforation. You can tear these charts and you can paste them on your study table. Now, what I normally advise students is that if you're studying, let's say, the first chapter of Companies Act for 2 or 3 days. So for those 2-3 days, keep the chart of that chapter on your study table, so that whenever you are studying and you lift your head, you see those words. Okay, randomly you will read, you will see those provisions and words automatically, effortlessly. You will be able to remember all those keywords, provisions for exam, because whenever you lift your head, you're seeing those words. Whenever you study and you lift your head, again you saw some different word. I can't recall this concept. Let me go and read about it. Okay, so this is the use of chart book. So these are the 3 books which you must have received. There is also one MCQ smart book. Okay, it's a printable PDF. You can take a printout. We are going to solve everything in the class. I'm going to cover the compiler, the smart book, case-based MCQs, everything will be covered in the class itself. So you need not worry. I already discussed the flow with you. First, we will go through the charts, then we will read from the main law book, we will solve questions from the study material, we will solve compiler questions, MCQs, and in the end, we will solve case-based MCQs. I also have revision lectures using this chart book, which I always upload on YouTube. So you can watch those revision lectures also. I'm telling you, students, guaranteed law is going to be your strongest subject. I'm telling this to you. So this is going to be our approach. Now let us go through each of these books in detail, and I will tell you how you're supposed to use those books. So students, I hope you are now very clear on how we are going to study, what is going to be our approach, what is your expectation, how you need to study, what are the books that you have received and how to use those books. Yes, we are all charged up and we want to now quickly start viewing the first lecture. Yes or no? So on this note, let us begin with our syllabus. But before I sign off, do share these video lectures with your friends. Inform them that there is a simple way to learn law, and you can do that by visiting capreetyagarwal.com.